Well, hi. We're here to lose some weight. Like it is for most people, I have tried to lose weight many times before. It's been a struggle. And I have tried a lot of different things. I've tried a lot of different diets and exercise programs and stuff like that, but clearly with no real success. One of the main things for me is that it's always been focused on the weight itself, and just kind of losing it by any means necessary. That doesn't always work because I'm very good at finding ways to kind of work around and find loopholes. And so I'll eventually find a way to sort of cheat the system. And then once I do that, it's almost like it loses meaning. Because I'm finding a way to like kind of cheat the system, like, oh, technically this is still within the parameters of what I'm trying to do. But that sort of has like the opposite effect psychologically, and then eventually I just end up dropping the whole thing because it doesn't really serve the purpose anymore. So this time I want to try to do things a little bit differently. This is definitely the heaviest that I've been. Still don't know exactly how heavy I am, but this is the heaviest that I've ever been. Every time that I try to do this, it always feels like, oh, this is as worse as it gets. And, you can't fathom getting any worse. But it always does. It always gets worse. At least it always has for me. So this time I want to try to do things a little bit differently. I don't want to focus on the weight. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I feel like focusing on the weight as the ultimate measure for success is causing more problems, at least for me, mentally, because I don't feel like I have enough motivation to do it. I end up questioning why I'm doing it in the first place a lot. So for the last few months, I've been thinking really hard about it and sort of preparing mentally to start a weight loss journey again, because I'm not going to focus on the weight itself. I'll still track the weight, but that won't be the goal or the thing that we're really measuring. I want to focus on certain habits and tracking certain markers. So I recently had some blood work done, and my lipids profile isn't great. My A1C, which is blood sugar, is a little bit high. I just crossed into pre-diabetic ranges. And so I'm going to be focusing on those things instead of the weight. I'm going to be focusing on improving those markers instead of just losing the weight. And hopefully losing weight is going to be a sort of like a side effect, a byproduct of focusing on those things. The other thing is that as my weight keeps going up, my health keeps getting worse and worse. My ability to do everyday things is diminishing. This last year was the worst in terms of mobility because I was having a lot of back pain, lower back pain, that was preventing me from even walking much. Even after walking half a block, I would be in a lot of pain. And so the problem is that it just creates this negative cycle where the bigger you are, the less you can move, and the less you can move, the more sedentary you are and the bigger you get. There are certain health markers that keep going in the wrong direction. So my blood sugar is creeping up. My lipids profile is going, in the wrong direction. My blood pressure isn't great. And so I want to focus on improving those things instead of just trying to lose weight. But we're still going to be measuring everything. And so that's kind of where we are right now. I'm going to be working to regain mobility, to improve my fitness. So like my VO2 max, or how much, exercise I can do before I'm gasping for air, running out of oxygen. Something that I did before, especially with food, was, hey, listen, if I'm staying under the calories that I'm supposed to eat, it doesn't matter what I eat. And at least the problem for me in not looking at the source of the calories, so not looking at the types of foods that I'm eating, but only concentrating on the caloric intake, and not the quality of those calories. Made it so that it's easy for me to cheat, and the moment I cheat, then I sort of lose motivation. My commitment to the whole thing diminishes, and I no longer have the same motivation, the same level of commitment, and eventually just kind of drop the whole thing, get derailed. This time, I'm also going to be focusing on the quality of the foods that I'm eating, the nutrition. I'm going to be measuring my metabolism to figure out, how many grams of carbs and protein and fat I should be eating. And I'll show you guys in a minute how I'm going to be doing that. But it's almost like having a more holistic approach where it's not just about losing the weight, but focusing on general health so that as we start improving health in general, then the weight naturally goes down. The other thing is that I'm going to be focusing on two more things that I now think are extremely important to weight loss, but they're not traditionally seen as part of it. So for me, that's going to be two things. One, mental health, and two, sleep. The thing that a lot of my overeating comes as a response to emotional triggers. And so the idea is that by focusing on mental health and sleep, we can overcome some of those challenges that are really hard. Really, at least for me, they've been really difficult to deal with. And I feel that they have strongly contributed to my overeating. So we're going to be measuring what feels like a lot of stuff with a certain number of gadgets that I've been acquiring over the last few months, sort of preparing for this. By the way, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I didn't get any products for free or anything. I have paid for everything full price. And so these are just the things, the products, the gadgets that I'm going to be using myself to try to understand what's going on and see where improvements need to be made. Perhaps they should sponsor me. That would be good. But I paid for all of these gadgets myself. The first one is this thing. This is called the Oura Ring. It's kind of like a smartwatch in the sense that it's something that you wear and it tracks certain things. But I have worn an Apple Watch in the past, but I never really got used to it and eventually stopped wearing it. And this seems to work a little bit better for me because it's a little bit smaller. And it measures, activity throughout the day and stuff like that. But what's really important to me is that this measures sleep. It also measures blood oxygen at night. I have a condition called sleep apnea, which is a condition that a lot of people have where your airways get blocked as you sleep. And so I wear a CPAP machine, which is a machine that kind of helps you breathe, helps you keep the airways open as you're sleeping. And this guy helps measure your blood oxygen concentration, making sure that the CPAP therapy is actually working. And overall, it just seems easier for me to wear. It's a little more comfortable. So this is one of the things that I'm going to be using. The other thing that this does is it gives me a daily activity goal. So based on how my body is on a given day, it'll tell me like, hey, you should be a little more active. You should walk a little more. And so we're going to be using the daily activity goal from the Oura Ring as our daily activity goal. And making sure that at least we're meeting that every day. I'm going to be starting only with walking and stretching because I haven't really exercised in a long time. So I think I should start slow. Stretching is going to be very important. And then I figured just walking on the treadmill is a good way to get started. Just simple and easy. That is it, I believe. Let's get started and see how we do. Okay, let's take the first measurement, which is basically just going to give us the baseline of where we are. I'm a little nervous. I don't think I've weighed myself in a long time, and I am a little nervous. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Let me clean my feet because it says that you should have clean feet when you get on it. And I'm nervous. Okay. Yikes. Well, I thought I was more in the 320, but 338 is quite significant. All right, let's go to the app and see what it says. Okay, so let's take a look at what the app has to say. Okay, the measurement today was 338.5 pounds. That is definitely higher than I was expecting. That gives us a BMI of 54.7. By the way, this is all the scale that I'm using. It sort of gives me all this information on top of the weight. Let's see, BMI 54.7, which according to this is a class 3 obesity. Yikes. Body composition, fat mass is 44.9%, muscle mass 52.4%, and bone mass is 2.7%. Body water 42.3%. So let's see, the fat mass is supposed to be between 6 and 25% for men. That's healthy. So I'm at 44.9%, which is definitely higher than 25%. Okay, first measurement down. We gotta keep going. We got a range of other things to measure to sort of get the baseline for this. By the way, the scale that I'm using is this guy. Is made by a company called Withings. I believe they're in France. And this particular scale is the Body Comp, which is supposed to give us, on top of the actual weight, all that information that I was talking about. So body composition, and when you take more than 5 measurements, they're supposed to also give you other things like vascular health and metabolic age and something like that. So we'll see what information it gives us, but yikes, it's a little bit higher than I was expecting, and it stings a little. The next thing we're going to do is take a blood pressure measurement, and I'm also going to be using this little device from the same company that makes the scale, Withings. It's supposed to be pretty simple to use. It's pretty portable too and small, so we'll see what it says. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, unroll cuff and place your arm inside it. Just move this up. It says tighten the cuff around your arm. The tube should be positioned against your inner arm. Okay. Tube is here. Place your arm on a table and level with your heart. So it seems to be like this. The button is on the bottom. Okay. Press the button to start BPM Connect. Okay. The screen displays BP. We got that. You can select a simple measurement or triple measurement with a long press of the button. So we're going to do 3 measurements just to get an average, because I'm doing it for the first time. I might get a little agitated. So, okay. So I'm going to shut up now. Press the button again to start measurement. Okay, 1 of 3. Okay, 150, 96, 67 heart rate. That's me, JJ. Okay, that seems to have been successful. I fast forwarded all of this because I didn't want you guys to sit here for like 5 minutes that this took, but good. Okay. So we have successfully done this thing, again, we are going for health in general. And the best way to monitor health, or the best way to know if things are going in the right direction, is by using some of these health metrics that are usually not associated with weight loss, but if you're doing a holistic approach, they are. So, okay, not, so it's definitely high. Let's see how high it is, but okay, this is our base rate. This is where we're starting. The goal is to improve from here. The goal is to keep going. So, okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure my metabolism, and we're going to be using this device called Lumen. I got this last year, and basically the way that it works is you blow into it, and it measures the amount of CO2, the CO2 concentration in your breath, and it's able to determine if you're burning carbs or fat for energy. And then based on that, when you do it first thing in the morning, it gives you basically a goal for your macros for the day. So how many carbs and how many grams of carbs and fats and protein you should take. So this is another one of the tools that I'm going to be using, because again, we're not just focusing on losing weight, but we're focusing on improving health. And hopefully the weight will be a side effect of becoming healthier. So one way to do it is with this. So I just have to open the app, and I hit the Get Started button. I turn on the Lumen.
Inhale deeply through your lumen. Hold your breath. Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so actually not too bad. That says when you do this, it gives you a score from 1 to 5, 1 being best, 5 being bad. And this is not terrible. We got a, let's see, I don't know if you can see it. We got a 2. So you're burning mostly fat, 65% fat, 35% carbs. And then based on this is going to tell me what I should eat in terms of my macros for today. So I'll do that and then I'll show you guys. Okay, so it tells me that today is a medium carb day. And I have, according to them, 10 portions of carbs, 6 of protein, and 8.5 of fat. 1 portion of carbs is 15 grams. So 1 slice of whole grain bread, 1/3 of a cup of cooked whole grains, 1 apple or an orange. 1 protein portion is 25 grams. So like half a fillet of salmon, 1 chicken breast. And then for fat, 1 portion is 15 grams. So 1 tablespoon of oil, 3 tablespoons of nuts, 1/2 of an avocado. And again, these are just a guide to give you an idea of what it looks like, what a portion looks like. But we're going to be measuring it a little bit better based on what I'm going to be trying to do. And I'll show you guys what I'm going to try to eat to help in this process. But basically with this, by measuring the metabolism, it tells me how much I should eat for my goal of creating metabolic flexibility, which is basically having my metabolism burn carbs when they're available and then go through them, not store them, but get through them and then go back to fat burn. And hopefully that'll help us lose weight by becoming metabolically healthy. Metabolically healthy. Yeah, said that right. So, okay, one more thing done. This is where we're starting, and it's finally time to eat. Let's do it. Okay, and this is what 338 pounds looks like. All right, let's do this. Sorry about the noise from the microphone. I'm gonna step away for a minute. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, that happens with my hair sometimes. This is it. This is what we're working with. It's just a starting point, but it's good to get the first day down, first measurements, and see what the starting point is, and see what the baseline is, and where we go from here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what breakfast is supposed to be. So I'm gonna try to make breakfast as nutritious as possible. And I know it looks a little weird because it's coming out of packages and not fresh food, but most of these products are from a company called Huel, and they make nutritionally complete meals that are kind of ready. And so I'm going to be using sort of like a mixture of different stuff to make like a super nutritious smoothie, basically like a super nutritious shake for breakfast. Okay, let's start with this guy. This is Huel Black Edition. It's supposed to be nutritionally complete. It's supposed to have all the vitamins and minerals and a good ratio of macros. So it's got protein and carbs and fat. And this is going to be sort of like the basis for the breakfast. It's supposed to have everything. And you get 400 calories per 2 scoops. So this one is a strawberry shortcake flavor. We'll see how it goes. I would have gone for the chocolate, but I have a lot of chocolate other stuff here, so I wanted to balance it with a little bit of fruit. So this is the first thing that is going to serve sort of like a basis for it. Let's see, the next thing that we're going to use is also another thing from another product from Huel. This is called a complete protein, and basically is just to increase the protein intake, and it's supposed to be, let's see, 1 scoop is 20 grams of protein, so we're adding more protein to the breakfast by including this. Now this one is chocolate, so chocolate and strawberries, I don't know, sounded good. This is going to provide extra protein for the breakfast. Then, let's see, I'm also going to be adding collagen peptides just to, again, a little more protein, and also this helps with skin and nails and hair. And I'm a little worried about my skin, just as I'm sure anyone who's going through a weight loss process is worried about what their skin is going to look like. So I'm going to add this. It's supposed to be good for you, and it's supposed to be unflavored. So it's just a simple addition. I'm also adding this thing that I got from Brian Johnson, Blueprint. And this is just regular cocoa powder, but it's supposed to be super high quality and healthy for you. Let's see, it's got a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat, not much, and just a little bit of carbs. So, you know, we're adding this for health. Not really for the macros, but it's supposed to be healthy. So we're adding this. And then these last two are this is another product by Huel called the Daily Super Blend. This is also chocolate flavor. It's supposed to have a whole bunch of stuff, like a protein and superfood blend, super fruit, antioxidant, greens, mushroom complex, you know, probiotics, a whole bunch of stuff. So this is, again, we're trying to cover a whole nutritional spectrum. So we're trying to make sure that we're covering all the bases, that we're starting breakfast with the best breakfast possible. I don't know if I'm overloading in some of these, but I don't know. We'll see how we do with this. And then the last thing that we're using is the Daily Super Greens. This guy. Again, another product by Huel, and it's supposed to, I remember seeing that something, what was it called? AG1. And it was basically like, you know, have all your greens that you're not having in your regular diet, and just, you know, you put it in water and you drink it. Basically, I think this is the same concept, so I'm just going to add it to the whole thing. So it's a super nutritious breakfast. And I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then we'll look at what the macros and all the details about like calories and macros are for this breakfast. All right. We're also going to be using a scale to measure everything. We'll see. You know, just kind of make it a little more scientific. Okay, let's start with the Huel Black. Strawberry. And we're supposed to do 2 scoops. Where are the scoops? All right, we got some scoops here. So 1 scoop is supposed to be about 45 grams. So we'll see. That says 43. Another one. 75. We're supposed to get to about 90 grams, so there you go. 91. Oh. 90. There you go. Okay. 90 grams it is. Black Edition. 1 serving, 90 grams. Add to breakfast. Okay. So with this, we have 1 portion of carbs, 1.5 portions of protein, and 1 portion of fat. Okay. Now let's go with the cocoa powder. This is supposed to be 2 scoops for 11 grams. So we zero this out again. Smells good. Smells really good. Oh, there is a scoop hiding in here. Oh well. That's 4 grams. Six grams, 8 grams, 10 grams, just a little bit more, until we get to 11. There we go, 11 grams. I'm gonna zero this baby out. Let's add this guy, Flexi Joints. So, as we talked about earlier, one of the goals is gaining mobility and becoming healthier and more flexible. And so this is something that I'm going to be using to see if it helps us gain, you know, improve our joint health. And this is supposed to be 1 scoop is 5 grams. And that's what we're adding to this. It does come with a little scoop. Or zero it out. 5 grams. Well, there you go. Good. Get the air out. And another one down. This is, we're adding flexi joints, 5 grams. Added to breakfast. So we have 1.5 of carbs, 1.5 servings of protein, and 1 serving of fat. Okay, the next thing we're gonna add is the complete protein. And so this should make our protein go way up. Well, I don't know way up, but go up a little bit more. Ooh, smells very chocolatey. For this, we're supposed to do 1 scoop, which is 29 grams. This scoop, I hate when you first get these things because the scoop is always buried in the powder and anyway, all right, this turned off. We got 0. This was 35 grams in this scoop. All right, so that's gonna be a little bit more. Complete protein, 29 grams. Well, we're gonna go to grams and we're gonna put 35. So this gives us, these 35 grams of protein give us 0.2 portions of carbs, so not much. 0.9 portions of protein and 0.1 portions of fat. But this is supposed to be protein 20 grams. Okay. Let's add the collagen. 4 tablespoons is about 20 grams. So, all right, let's just add it like this, 20 grams. And that's 1 serving. So 20 grams, we got 10. $15. This is a lot. 19. Come on. 20. There we go. We're gonna add the Daily Super Blend. So this is supposed to have very nutritious things. This one is also chocolate. Yep, chocolate flavor. So, like I said, I would have gotten the Black Edition Huel as chocolate, but everything else was chocolate. So I figured this would give us a little bit of fruit. This guy is supposed to be, ooh, oh, smells delicious. That smells really good. Doesn't even smell like chocolate. Okay, so this serving size, 2 scoops, 66 grams. And I'm guessing that these are the scoops for that one. All right, 2 scoops for 66 grams. So 1 scoop should be, see, but these are not. That's 29. $54. We need 10 more grams. Come on. 59. 67. Yeah, let's call it that. It's good enough. Let's add it to breakfast here. So we're adding the Daily Super Blend, 1 serving. This is mostly, I don't know, carbs and protein, a little bit of fat. Yeah, pretty balanced. Okay, so with this, we're up to 3 portions of carbs, 4 of protein, and 1.5 of fat. So, last but not least, we're gonna be adding the daily greens. So, let's hope this doesn't fuck up the flavor too much. Oh, it smells nice too. Okay, this guy is 1 scoop, 15 grams. Oh, we'll zero this out. 17 grams. All right, good enough. Okay, this is the last ingredient. I feel like we're gonna need a bigger thing to mix it. Okay, I'll figure it out and then we'll do a taste test when this is done. I ended up having to blend it in 2 different ones and then kind of mix it in here. So we'll see. It's not a perfectly blended flavor, but all right, let's see. Okay. Interesting. It's definitely gritty. It's thick. I mean, that can always be watered down. It's not unpleasant, and it's not super strong in any way. There's a little bitterness from the chocolate. Yeah, no, it's not offensive in any way. It's definitely doable. I want to see if we could add like maybe some cherries or something to just to sweeten it up a little bit, but it's definitely drinkable. And the milder the flavor, I guess the easier it is to not get tired of it. There are obviously other flavors that we can get in some of these products and stuff, but to start, not bad at all. Yeah, this is doable. Famous last words, right? I mean, I mixed a lot of stuff in there, so it makes sense that it might be. Actually, I'm surprised it's not more offensive. I don't know. What do you say? Would you drink it? It really doesn't taste bad. Is it delicious? No. All right. Let me see if we can. Finish mixing this. A tiny bit more water and we'll see. So look at the texture on this thing. Like the straw will just like stand there. It's pretty thick. I mean, all right, let's look at what this breakfast contains. So we got 90 grams of the Huel Black Edition Strawberry Shortcake. We have 11 grams of cocoa powder from Blueprint. 5 grams of the Flexi Joints Joint Health Supplement. 35 grams of the Complete Protein. 20 grams of collagen peptides. The Daily Super Blend. Oh, we haven't added the greens. Where are you? Daily greens. 15 grams. Okay. So now we have all our items. We log breakfast, and it gives us a total, let's see, 915 calories. And we have 3.5 servings of carbs out of 10 that we're supposed to have today. 4 out of 6 servings of protein that we're supposed to have today, and 1.5 out of 8.5 of fat. So basically we have to do more fat and carbs for the other meals. But yeah. Yeah, this might need a little tweaking to figure out how to make it taste a little bit better. It's not terrible. It's not horrible, but it's not delicious either. And so, I don't know. It might just be my taste buds adjusting to it. They're not adjusted to this. There's a certain level of something. It's like now that I added a little more water and blended both sides a little bit more, it's a little weird. All right. We'll continue tweaking, see if we can find something we like. I knew I was forgetting something. I got this thing, this ridiculous looking suit. This thing is supposed to do a 3D scan of your body, and it's supposed to be more accurate than measuring by hand. So this is something else that we're gonna track to see how my body composition is changing as we do this. So let's go ahead and measure.
Place the phone on the stand with the screen facing away from you. We are going to use the back camera. Move 6 feet away and face your phone. You are at a good distance. We are checking your arm pose now. Put both hands a bit further from your body. Great. Hold the pose. Turn right to 1 o'clock. Turn right to 2 o'clock. Turn right to 3 o'clock. Turn to 4 o'clock. Turn to 5 o'clock. Turn to 6 o'clock. Turn to 7 o'clock. Turn to 8 o'clock. Turn to 9 o'clock. Turn to 10 o'clock. Turn to 11 o'clock. Your scan has been successfully completed. You can pick up the phone now.
All right. So this worked. It's doing. Oh, I also had to do my hair like this because the hair obviously cannot be in the way. So let's see what my measurements are. There you go. This is pretty cool, actually. This seems to create a real 3D scan of my body. So let me just record here so I can show you guys. We pull this up and look, that's me. Interesting. It's weird to see yourself like this, but yeah, that's it. And it's cool to see the measurements. Okay, so this says body fat percentage 45.3%. That's high. Hold on. That's high. And so these are all the measurements that it takes. I was comparing it to the body fat percentage that the scale gave me, which was like 44.9 or something. So it's pretty close. Not bad. It's, you know, obviously there's going to be some margin of error, but cool. And it's kind of weird to see yourself like this. Well, okay. So now that we have all these measurements and things out of the way, we can actually have lunch. Although it's a little bit late now because the day has been a little weird. I started late. But we're going to try to meet the rest of the macros for today. And so, with this meal, that is. And so, let's see how we're going to do that. What we're eating today is another product made by Huel. This is more of like an actual meal. This is rice and quinoa meal, hot and savory, sweet and sour, nutritionally complete food. Okay, so this, we're going to do, how many portions of that? We're doing 2 servings of 95 grams. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, how do we actually make this? Give your pouch a good shake. Last scoop. Add water. And then partially cover and microwave. Okay. Well, it smells good. Okay, so this has, these 2 servings are gonna have 5 portions of carbs, 2 of protein, and 1.5 fat. Now we need to add a little more fat to this. So what we're gonna be doing is adding 2 eggs and 2 eggs and 120 grams of this nutty butter. It's macadamia and walnuts, also made by Blueprint. And that'll bring the total for this meal to, I'll make it all first and then I'll tell you what the macros are. But basically it's this plus 2 eggs, and we'll see what it tastes like. So I brought 2 bowls because I don't know if 1 is gonna be enough. And 2 scoops are supposed to be 95 grams. One. Oh, wait. I messed up. Okay. I need to zero it out. There we go. Dum-dum. This is 40. And this is 83. We're supposed to get to 95. 95. So that is the first one. We're going to do 1 egg in there. And I decided to go for the Happy Hens ethical eggs, pasture raised eggs. So we'll see. But okay. I guess we'll add it at the end. And then we're doing, for this one, 60 grams of this nutty butter. Okay, we zero it out. That's 20. That's 40. 50, 55, 56, fatty. Okay. 6 or 2 and 1 egg. All right. Now, technically, we're supposed to do a whole nother one. Okay, so I'm gonna cook it and then we'll see what it tastes like. All right, well, this is what it looks like. It's definitely warm. Let's see if it's tasty. Yeah. It's okay. Hot. Okay. It's interesting texture. It's like a paste with grains, with like a little rice. Not exactly rice, I think, but yeah. Again, this is probably going to take some adjusting just because I feel like my taste buds are used to more explosive flavors, I guess. You know, everything is more intense. And this is a little milder, but yeah, perfectly edible. For this meal, this ended up being 5 portions of carbs, 3 of protein, and 7 of fat. And that brings our total with this would be 8.5 out of 12 portions of carbs, so we're going to be under in carbs. 7 of 6 of protein, so we're going to be 1 portion over in protein, and 8.5 out of 8.5 for fat. We're perfectly on fat. The calories for today, 2,576. Okay. So a little under in carbs. I had 10 portions of carbs for the day, but then because I did a workout, I walked on the treadmill for half an hour. They gave me 2 extra portions of carbs, so. All right, we'll see how we feel a little bit later on, but this would basically be it as far as food for the day. So let's see if I can put all of this down. Well, it wasn't bad. It was a little difficult to get through the whole meal, but I mean, it's just the first day, and so of course it's gonna feel a little unappetizing, I guess. It wasn't bad. I don't know that the combination with the nut butter was the right call. I don't know. With this, we're just gonna have to try a bunch of stuff and see what I like. But it wasn't bad. I mean, it's doable. It took a little long to get through the whole thing. I was like, okay, I'm done with this, but still had like half the bowl. So we will see. That's basically it. That's all the food and measurements that we were going to do today. I'm going to do one more measurement in a little while with the lumen and see how my metabolism is responding to the food. But other than that, that's it. This is day 1, and we have a long way to go. So